Imagine a dish that's always welcomed, no matter the time of the day, whether you're starting your morning, fueling for a busy afternoon, or winding down in the evening. Chilaquiles is just the perfect companion, and if you stuff them with cheese, drench them in a salsa verde, even better. This delicious Mexican favorite is more than just a meal. It's a comfort that can be savored any hour of the day. So let's start by making that salsa verde. So I've got 1 pound of tomatillos, 1/4 of a white onion roughly cut, 3 unpeeled garlic cloves, and 1 serrano pepper. You can do more if you want it spicier, but I'm just gonna remove that stem area. Lightly drizzle everything with oil. I am using avocado. Place them on the top 3rd rack and roast them on high broil for about 8 to 10 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. Let's get started on the masa. We're gonna need 2 cups of instant corn masa harina. And to that, we're gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Just mix that, making sure everything is well combined. This dish kind of reminds me of ravioli. I guess it's the Mexican ravioli.
Sounds like it.
I just love that flavor of the fried corn. It's so good. Gradually add in the water. We're gonna hydrate it. And this is warm, by the way. Just keep adding until that dough comes together. It forms a mass and holds its shape. We need structure here. So basically you're just waiting to get rid of any dry patches. That dough has to be soft but still firm, but there shouldn't be any cracking and no sticking. Look at those edges. I'm gonna need for about 3 to 5 minutes. So far I've used 1 1/4 cups of the water, and it really can vary depending on the temperature of the room, the temperature of the water itself. So just stop as soon as that masa has the right consistency. We're gonna set it aside. I've covered it with a damp paper towel because those tomatillos have a minute to go. So we're gonna remove them from the oven as soon as they're ready. Allow those roasted ingredients to slightly cool down. Meanwhile, we need to thinly slice 1/4 of a white onion. Oh yeah, no crying today. I'm on my A game. Okay, we're just gonna set it aside momentarily. Okay, transfer all of those roasted ingredients into a blender. Make sure you peel those garlic cloves, which smell incredible at this point. Whew, whew. It didn't fall, we got it. That pepper and the onion.
That one fell.
I know what is going on. Do 1/2 of a bunch of cilantro, 1 1/2 cups of low sodium chicken broth, because we want to be able to adjust our own seasoning. We're gonna cover and blend it until it is completely smooth.
And broken down.
How dare you, this guy over here. Set a pan over medium heat and drizzle in a couple of tablespoons of avocado oil. Let it heat up and then add the sliced onion. Stir them in and cook them until they have slightly browned. We are there, looking wonderful. Carefully pour in that salsa. This is gentle simmering. I'm just gonna keep it there. I'll lower the heat. And I'm gonna add about 2 sprigs of epazote. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can omit it, but if you can find it, it is completely worth it. Let it gentle simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. We just want that sauce to slightly thicken. Don't leave it too thick. We just need a little bit of body. Lastly, we have to add salt. I'm using kosher, and do it to taste. Open up those flavors. All right, this is good. Let's set it aside so we can make those chilaquiles. Bring out the tortilla press, and we're gonna grab a small amount of that masa, just as you would to make a tortilla. Flatten it into a disc. I'm gonna place it in between the liners. And the only difference is we're gonna press it down, leave it a little bit thicker than you would for a tortilla because we want it to be able to hold that cheese inside. Add the grated Oaxaca cheese to the tortilla in 2 sections. As much as I love cheese, I encourage you not to overfill because then it's gonna be hard for you to close it. Leave a little bit of space in the middle. Treat this just as if you were gonna make an empanada. Fold it over and pinch the edges. Make sure everything is well enclosed. If you can, remove some of that air out. While it's still closed, I'm going to use my bench scraper and make a dent right in the middle. The empanada, I guess, at this point. And as you can see, we need to close those edges. It can happen sometimes. Just make sure everything is completely closed. Keep them covered with plastic wrap. That way they don't dry out and we can continue making the rest. If you want smaller chilaquiles, just grab a smaller amount of masa. Its respective amount of cheese. And if you don't have a bench scraper, you can always use a spoon. Make sure you go over them. Everything needs to be well enclosed. Oh, and that spoon did a wonderful job, to be honest. I think I like it better than the bench scraper.
Yeah.
The chilaquiles are gonna get fried, so we need to heat a generous amount of oil to around 325 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the ideal temperature for this process. Fry them in batches. We don't want to overcrowd the pot. Very carefully, I like to pour some of that hot oil over the top of the chilaquiles. Make sure that oil stays steady at the same temperature. You don't want it to get cold or way too hot. Carefully flip them so the other side gets nice and crispy as well. It is time to come out. They're fully cooked, golden brown. That's all we need. Beautiful. Ooh. Some of that cheese is oozing out of this one, but that's okay. It's coming out already. Look at that cheese. So good, golden brown. They kind of crisp up. Delicious. Right, these are so cheesy. I just want you to see the inside. Let's open one up for you. Filled with so much goodness. This cheese is really, really stretching far. Look at that. Gorgeous. To plate, add the chilaquiles first, followed by the salsa verde, which I reheated. Just spoon it over until fully covered. Do a couple of fried eggs and some sliced red onion. A drizzle of crema mexicana or sour cream. A generous sprinkle of queso panela or queso fresco. And finally, chopped cilantro. I personally have to carb count. That's why I like to add a base of purple cabbage, then the amount of chilaquiles, and the rest you already know, all the fixings. All right, let's do this because, oh boy, these look so good.
So cheesy.
I know, I told you, this kind of reminds me of ravioli. Oh, wow.
Wow.
My salad right under it is so good. Hey, you have to get creative, right?
These are so good.
I know. That fried corn, that cheese is just a delight.
Wow.
These are amazing.
Plus the egg on top. You probably have like 6 or 7 of this.
You?
Of course.
Oh boy. Everything is just amazing. Still, I still get a couple of cheese pulls in there. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. We're gonna finish off our meal. The full printable recipe is gonna be available on villacocina.com, and until the next one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.